welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited because I'm going to be filming my intro for Pan Those Eyeshadows project. This is my absolute favorite panning video to watch on YouTube. I did this project half of last year and I am super excited to be doing it again because I love eyeshadow so very much and I like not knowing what I'm going to be getting. So this is not your typical intro video since I started this project actually at the beginning of the month and I didn't start my YouTube channel until this past week, so I had already randomized all my shadows and picked all of them, but I'm going to show them to you today, and then at the beginning of next month we'll start with showing hopefully some progress and picking the random shadows, which is my absolute favorite part about this project. I am doing this a little bit differently than some other people. I don't have a total in front of me, but I think I have about 600 shadows in palettes, or maybe 500 shadows in palettes, and then about 200 singles, and those also include any loose pigments or liquid shadows that I have. So I choose 3 random shades from palettes and then 3 random singles so that I'm getting use out of each half of my eyeshadow collection, so to speak. I have a couple of rules that I changed from last year. I'm not going to keep a shadow in longer than 2 months. There were the majority of the shadows that I picked. I started in July 2019, and by the end of December 2019, I still had, I believe, at least three of the original shades, maybe 4. It takes me forever to hit pan because I use a very light hand. So to avoid that and to keep things interesting, because I don't want to be working on the same shadow for 5 months, I'm only going to keep shades in for 2 months max. The only exception are liquid shadows or loose pigments. I have to use those 20 times before I can roll them out. So, I mean, I might revisit that later if I get a loose pigment or a liquid shadow and it's been 3 months and I've used it 3 times. I'm probably going to end up rolling it out, but I don't think I should have that big of a problem with that. So I'm going to show you swatches of the shades that I picked because we're already a third of the way into January. I do have a little bit of progress showing on some of these, and I don't want to spoil anything. I don't have any pan, don't worry. But I'm just going to go through the 3 shades that I picked from palettes and then the 3 singles that I picked. So the first one is from the Emily Edit, the Wants palette, which, as you can see, mine arrived broken, so it's taped. It's all janky, but I picked I chose, or was chosen for me, the very first shade, the cream, which it's just exactly what it says, a cream colored shadow. I've been using this every day to set my eyeshadow primer. The second one I picked is from my Sweet Peach palette. This is my oldest high-end palette, and it's also one of my favorites. It's like 3 years old, but it still smells great. The shadows still work. So I got the shade Summer Yum, which is a really good crease transition shade for me. I've been using that almost every single day as a transition shade. And then the last shade from a palette is from The Festival by Juvia's. When I saw on my spreadsheet that I got a shade from a Juvia's Place palette, I was really afraid because I know how big these pans are and how hard it is to pan them. But I got the shade Uli, which It's a shimmer shade, so I've been using it exclusively as an inner corner highlight. So I think using it that way, I might be able to hit pan on it by the end of next month. I don't think I'm going to hit pan on it by the end of this month, but. And then the 3 single shadows that I picked. The first one is Do or Dough from ColourPop. I believe this was part of the She's a Rainbow. That's what it was called. Their curated single palette with all the colorful shadows. And then my second single shadow is Super Zoom from ColourPop. So it's this really nice dark tealy green. And then, wouldn't you know it, the last one I picked is Wanderlust from Stila. I got a liquid shadow, so I only need to use this 20 times before I roll it out of the project. And it's like a pinky, coppery, sheer color. It goes really well with a bunch of the other shadows that I'm working on in my Beauty A to Z project and in my 20 favorites in 2020. So I don't think it'll be too hard for me to hit 20 uses on this. If I really work on it, I should be able to roll it out by the end of this month, but we'll see. I'm working on 3 other liquid shadows, or no, 2 other. This is the 3rd that I'm working on. I'm working on 3 total liquid shadows over all my projects, so I'm not going to focus exclusively on this one. So I'm probably not going to roll this one out until the end of next month, but you never know, I might. So those are the 6 shades that I picked, and I hope you will join me at the beginning of next month when we figure out if I'm going to be rolling in anything new. So bye, see you later.